with tier 5 just looming around the corner, we've still got a lot of builds to upgrade here in Hell. Yes, we've certainly got an awful lot of upgrades left. So roll on another Hell episode where everyone dies and nothing gets done. No, you know what actually? Let's power through these builds. Briggs, what are you doing and what are you after? You are wanting some nether sprouts, because you're upgrading our apiary to tier 3 I imagine, and you seem to have the vast majority of things in for it, just apart from an item frame and some nether sprouts, which he can now consider that as done. Right then Sage, what are we getting up to? We are upgrading the forester's hut and are also probably just expecting in a few nether sprouts. Ugh, fine. I suppose this is just going to be my life for the next little bit then. We seem to have a fairly sizable queue at our restaurant. Are you guys not feeding our citizens? All you have in stock are some melon slices. No, you know how to give them a lot more food than that. Don't we have 1,000,000 pork chops in our warehouse? I'll go check, I suppose. Yeah, we might have a few. Alright then, well, take all of those pork chops there. In fact, take some of these raw ones as well. And just in case you have forgotten how to cook down raw pork chops, that's how to do it there. And good, people are eating, so people should then get back out to work. Right, that's 3 problems now sorted. On to the 4th one. Jose, what are we doing? Jose is upgrading a house for us to tier 4 I believe. He is not inside his builder's hut, which suggests to me that he is already out here constructing it. Well, I have found him and he is trying to construct it, but he is obstructed by 1,000,000 animals at the moment. Problem solved. Never a dull moment in hell, eh? Thank you very much, Sage. Alright then, Haley, what are we up to? We are upgrading a courier's hut to tier 4 I assume, and yep, just awaiting in a few items. Nether sprouts, of course. You're actually just waiting on a few things coming from our delivery system to you, so that's absolutely fine. Leilani here is a new builder who has taken over the job of Dean, and I believe they have just constructed our Sifter build just around the corner here. Yep, and we have Koa in as our worker for it. Very odd name there, Koa, but thank you very much, Briggs. Please make sure I have at least a string mesh to sift with. You can either manually stock different meshes in your hut or set up a minimum stock to automate it. Okay then, well this is our first proper look into the Sifter build, so I will look into these meshes for you. And with the meshes, you seem to be able to collect a few different materials for us. So he can screen sand and give us out sugarcane or cactus from it, a few different saplings from dirt, some nether materials from soul sand, and some overworld materials from gravel. And we have a few different meshes here that we can make for him, although these say that it requires some research, which we do have a new option unlocked within our university, Unlockables, and we have string mesh here. Fletcher learns how to make string meshes for the Sifter. So do we need to unlock further meshes then within our university? Or do we unlock more of them as we upgrade the Sifter build? Well, Koa was just killed to a mob, which is rather unfortunate, probably that one there. But we'll upgrade the Sifter build and see if that unlocks any different meshes for us. And I was going to teach the Fletcher how to make one of these string meshes, but he already knows how to make it here. So if I just add the string meshes to the minimum stock tab of our Sifter's hut, is that going to be good enough, Giselle? Possibly. Well, I will let our delivery system give you that mesh and I will check up on you later. For now though, I have seen that Leilani is asking for some jungle stairs, So that's a trip over to our carpenter. That's the recipe now taught to the carpenter, and Leanne is wanting them because she's upgrading a house for us. In fact, I believe that's 4 of the 5 builders all making houses for us at the moment. So we will maybe need to assist them doing that because they are fairly big builds. If I make up a lot of these cyan clay acacia shingles as well as some slabs, then I can put those into the warehouse, and that can greatly assist with this building process. The carpenter does know how to make these, but I can always help just to speed the process up. Although I am going to require a lot of clay, which our crusher can make for us, unless we have any inside of our warehouse, which the answer to that is a big fat nope. And I know that our crusher is going to require a lot of cobblestone in order to turn it into some clay, so thank you very much, Heaven. So Matteo, our crusher, why don't you take in some of this cobblestone then and give me out some clay in return? He will turn our cobblestone into some gravel, then that gravel into some sand, and then that sand finally into some clay. A bit of a long process for it, but I want some clay out, so get to work. I have just remembered that there is a crushing research which I've still to get. The Gilded Hammer research, which is going to cut down our crusher's recipe cost by 50%. All we need is 64 clay, sand and gravel for this, and then we can go for it. Which Heaven is going to very kindly donate those items to us. So we can now go ahead with this research, which should allow our crusher to crush down items and get more out from them. So it's definitely going to be handy. But Matt, I'm hoping that's enough time for you to have collected me some clay balls here, yep, as well as some clay as well. Good stuff. Most likely, in the time it's taken me to gather up the materials to make these acacia items, then our colony has probably already fulfilled that request. But I will still just make a few more, just in case. You know what? I take it back. We've got all of these items inside the request system at the moment, so yes. Maybe it is a good job that I'm doing this for them at the moment. Although the only thing holding them up is some green dye from the dyer, who I am more than certain knows how to make green dye. Let's go check up on that. Well, apparently he didn't, but he now does. And that's the Sifter just been killed to some lava. There is no lava over here, so no idea how they've managed to do that, but good job, Sifter. Right then chaps, that's clay shingles and slabs for absolute days. So what's next on the list? Warped fungus for Haley by the looks of it, which is another item that they can now consider as collected. I seen that we had in another new sifter. Hello Arabelle. I've got a few items here that I would like you to sift through for me, please. Which she is sifting soul sand at the moment, so let's see what you make from that. And much appreciated, finishing up that build there, Haley. You go pick up something else now. I get the feeling that because she's using a string mesh, which is the most basic mesh, that we are probably not going to get a lot of items out from all of these blocks. So I really would like your hut upgraded actually, so that we can see you getting proper items. I might get our builder here doing that. How are we getting on with the house? 30% done with it. Well, I will force her to upgrade your building after she's finished off with the house there, so we will see what an upgraded sifter is going to be able to do for us. Haley has picked up our new library build, which is only at tier 1. Has got all of the items in for it already, apart from 20 bookshelves, which that is a paper and plantation item, so I will need to go check and see if we do have any paper within the warehouse. Unfortunately, we don't really have too much paper, but we do certainly have quite a lot of sugarcane. So I guess this is another item that I will quickly make up for them. And I can see that Haley has made a really good start here with her library. Good stuff, pal. Is that Enderman out here helping you? That's even better. Free labour. Right, take your bookshelves in and continue the good work. And this was stupidly quick. I swear I just blinked and she's now pretty much got it up and complete. Very, very nicely done, Haley. I may get you coming out and upgrading this to tier 2 straight afterwards. They are now starting to get in the materials to finally finish up these house upgrades, so that's great. Thank you very much, Jose. Chaps, let's not be doing it. Jose has now moved on to upgrade our apiary build, which I don't think there's anything here too exciting for it. 1 block of prismarine is the most exotic item towards it, but I'm thinking once he's upgraded that to tier 4, then apart from a few more houses down here in our agricultural district, that's all of them then up at the tier 4 mark. So that's really good actually. I know we've still got a lot of builds within the main plaza here requiring to be upgraded to tier 4, so we will definitely need to spend a bit of time getting them all upgraded here actually. I may need to assign some builds to actual builders, because otherwise this is going to take forever here. I'm pretty sure that all of the builds down in our graveyard district have maybe been upgraded to tier 4. Maybe one over there still left to do. So that then pretty much just leaves the builds here within our industry district still to be upgraded. So we may need to spend a bit of time out here just doing that. And that is another Sifter being killed again. To be fair, this area here is pretty new to the colony and hasn't been prepared yet to stop mobs spawning on it. So it's no wonder that they keep spawning in and killing them. But just like that, we've got yet another new Sifter. Unfortunately, I don't think we have any items here for them to sift. I will get you some items to sift once your building has been upgraded. I really don't think there's much point until it has. And that's how researchers made their conclusions about the Gilded Hammer research. So we now have the chance to get out more items from the blocks that we crushed down. Excellent. And I just recalled Leilani to see which house that she was upgrading, but she has literally just finished it as I recalled her there. I believe it was somewhere just in the distance, but she now has picked up the Sifter to tier 2. And once again, there really doesn't seem to be any item here that's going to cause any form of issue. I have seen that Sage and Briggs are still upgrading some houses to tier 4. This is taking a hell of a long time, chaps. Sage is 75% done with this, just awaiting in a few awkward items actually, which I might head to the warehouse just to get her those items. How is Briggs getting on though? Well, a delivery person has just arrived to give you something. What are you after? Polished basalt and dark oak stairs. I do get the feeling that our delivery system is lacking a bit at the moment. I think we only have 4 or 5 different couriers and our warehouse can support at least up to 8. So maybe once we reach tier 5 I can place down even more courier huts and that should give us some more couriers to then help deliver items a bit faster. Right, Sage is now sorted and this is the house here that she's upgrading. It does look as if it is almost finished, but what is the hold up in here? Apart from all of the bloody animals. She is working, I think she's just putting in the final touches to it, so hopefully this building will not take too much longer before it's complete. Good fight, little piglin. Briggs is also sorted. I believe this is the build here that he's working on. It is indeed good, so he will get this constructed ASAP. I have seen that Haley has picked up a house building of her own. I assume that will be somewhere up there beside her hut. And Jose has been very hard at work down here, upgrading our apiary to tier 3, or tier 4 actually. So this should flag off as done anytime soon. Yep, that is done. Perfect. And that's Sage just completed her house down there as well. So I think that is officially every build here within our agricultural district now up at tier 4. But it does now mean that we have 2 free builders, so we can start upgrading some of these builds here. Let's maybe get Jose out and he can upgrade our restaurant. And Sage has picked up work on the nether miner, which of course we are going to need to teach a few different recipes for this build. But that's no issue at all, because these are simple recipes that we can teach to our carpenter. Jose has picked up the restaurant build and is requesting in some grey stained glass and a smoker, which I believe the smoker here is another recipe that we can teach to our carpenter. Yes. And the grey stained glass pane to our glass blower. Briggs finished off our house build and has picked up our hospital to tier 4, and he's getting pretty much everything in for it, so this is a nice easy build actually. Speaking of nice easy builds, we've not really made too much progress on this tier 2 one, have we? Definitely not. She is just awaiting in a delivery of the strip stems, so it really isn't going to take that long. I do kind of wish that our archers wouldn't attempt to kill an enderman with range. At least the iron golem has the right idea. I have just seen that Jose is going to require a cake to upgrade the restaurant, which I'm not sure if we have a bakery in hell. I can't ever remember placing one down, so that may need to be an item that we get from heaven. We will eventually get a bakery up here in hell if that is the case, but we still have a lot of work orders on our list. I really don't want to put too many more on it. Alright then, Heaven, why don't you deliver us over 5 of these cakes then? That's a lot of buckets of milk. And of course, Heaven has a lot of requests for me to solve for them as well. Of course they do. Just one colony's problems for me today. I will handle Heaven at another point. Oh man. We still have got so many more work orders to go. And to be fair, the work orders are taking a while, mainly due to all of these house upgrades. So what I may do is put them down to the bottom of the list, so then at least our builders concentrate on some more important buildings for us. But good news, that's the Sifter now at tier 2. So Livia, can you do anything different for us? I'm not too sure, but I've added all of the different types of mesh to her minimum stock, and assuming that our other builds can make that for you, hopefully they will deliver it and you can use those meshes whenever you can. And seeing as these meshes are now on our open requests, I don't think any building knows how to make them. And Haley has just fallen into lava. Perfect. But in better news, that's Leilani just finished off our crusher to tier 4 and has picked up the dyer's hut to tier 4 for us. Sage has just completed our nether miner to tier 4, and Briggs has just upgraded our hospital to tier 4 as well. Julia, who has taken over the builder's job from Haley, has just completed our glass blower to tier 4, and Jose received in his cake and has upgraded our restaurant to tier 4. And that is Briggs just completed our mine to tier 4. And Sage just completed our guards tower to tier 4 right behind. With Jose here busy upgrading our nether miner to tier 3 at the moment. Leilani has made some great progress with her Dyer's Hut upgrade and is about 75% done with it at the moment. With Julia just working across the way here on her stone smeltery, although I don't think she's yet begun it. And that's Leilani, just finished it there. Which is grand that she just did, because Julia is now asking for a lot of coloured items towards the stone smelter build, which we need to teach here to the dyer. Leilani has now moved on to upgrade her Sifter's hut to tier 3, which I'm hoping that will then allow her Sifter to use these different types of meshes. Sage is busy upgrading her last graveyard to tier 4, and that will be all of the builds within our graveyard district, then up at the tier 4 mark. And Briggs has moved on to upgrade our courier's hut to tier 4 as well. But I'm now pretty sure that all of our builds in the main plaza here are up at their maximum of tier 4, and we only have a few more buildings here within our industry district now requiring an upgrade, as well as a few buildings here within our educational district. But that little building stint there has really helped with the work orders front. There is really just a few more guards and a lot of house builds left to upgrade. So I think to save this episode being any longer than it needs to be, I'm just going to get those upgrades in the offline, and then for our next episode, we're going to be ready for tier 5. And that's whenever everything really starts coming together.